There are certain principles that you can follow that will help you to grow your own business. And there are also certain things that you need to do in order to grow a business. But if you listen to all of the mainstream influencers, they'll be telling you to do all sorts of different things. You just need to put in hundreds of hours per week. You need to sacrifice all of your time with family and put weekends on hold. You need to move to a tax-friendly country like Dubai and completely alienate all of your friends. You need to only associate with people who give you some form of business value. You'll need to sell all of your unwanted possessions and really downsize your estate. And you're going to need to cut back on all of your luxuries and your hobbies and the things that make you happy. And only when you've done all of this are you going to be successful with your business and truly happy. And whilst that might work for some people, that sounds to me like an absolutely way to live your life. The whole point of trying to grow your own business is so that you can do more of the things that you love and enjoy more of the things that you enjoy doing, not cut them out of your life and become completely isolated. And I'm pretty sure that if you tried to live your life like that, you could end up in an early grave because you'd be totally mentally stressed about everything in life and not actually enjoying what life is supposed to be all about. You don't need to go nuclear on your life in order to run a successful business. And that's why in this video, I'm going to share some principles with you and a single mindset that if you follow, I promise you will give you success in your business and will allow you to actually still enjoy your life and do the things that you want to do, which is what other people aren't telling you. And not only that, later on in the video, I'm going to share something with you that's really, really cool. And I'm now going to share it with you for completely free. More details coming later on. Now, the reason this mindset and these principles are so powerful is because it will literally empower you to make gains on your business, however great or small. And that will allow you to move forward with your business without all of the hiccups of trying to think about everything up front. And the mindset and principles will also keep you honest and keep you driving towards your own objectives and missions and not those of someone else. And here's the kicker to all of that. It doesn't actually take any effort at all in order to adopt these principles and this mindset. You just have to crack on with it and look at it every day and use it as your so-called mantra to growing your business. Many businesses attempt to launch and then subsequently fail really fast. And that's because they set themselves a massive mountain to climb on day one, which can very quickly become overwhelming, and it's the sort of thing that makes you want to give up and quit. And that's why these principles will really help you. So just to provide some context around this mindset, when you first start a business, if you haven't done one before, you'll probably be asking these kind of questions to yourself. How do I get customers? How do I get people to pay me for something that I'm offering? How do I even offer what it is I want to offer to different people? Do I need social media accounts or a YouTube channel? What is marketing exactly? Do I need to go on calls and chat to people on the phone? How do I get people to come to my website? And more importantly, how do I even create a website? Now, this list goes on. And for anyone who just looks at those list of questions and thinks this is the kind of stuff that it takes to launch a business, you're going to have a rude awakening and it's likely to put you off the idea altogether. There's too many things in the air there. And if you try and deliver and action them all in one go, you'll just quit and you won't bother. Trust me, I know because I've tried it before. Just remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. Your business won't be built in a day either. But if you take these steps and follow these principles and this mindset, you will be able to build a business and you'll be able to do it at a pace that makes sense for you. So these principles are grouped under something which I call the money mindset. And I've called it that because if you adopt all of these, you will actually be able to make money from businesses and grow businesses quite easily, just following simple mantras. So what is the money mindset? Well, it's a state of mind and a set of principles that define how you should think, behave, and operate with a view to making money or growing a successful business. And that's it. It's nothing more complicated than that. And within the mindset, there are several principles. We're going to go through all of them now, and I'm going to explain why they're so powerful. So let's get into principle number one. So have you ever wondered how people are able to create really successful businesses? And have you also ever watched social media posts and wondered how is someone able to create such high quality content that's so engaging and getting so many viewers, so many follows, and so many likes? Well, the reality is that the people who are posting this and the people who are talking about this stuff didn't have that at one point in their life. They had to start at the very bottom, which might be where you're starting. Because they've had some success, they're able to then hire in expertise to support them in their business growth. And that means that they can focus on doing what they do best, which is to actually create good content, good products, and good offerings. And then they have a support network of people who help them to do stuff. Now, we can't expect to do that from day one because we're launching a business from scratch. So the first principle in this mindset is to just simply do your best. The things that you do on day one will not be perfect. perfect by any means. You will get lucky if things are perfect, and you will just continue to learn how to do them better and better over time. There is no point in trying to perfect everything on day one, because you will literally run yourself into the ground and you may not even launch a business in the first place. You should always consider doing your best as the bare minimum standard, and that's why it's the most important part of this mindset, because if you do your best literally every time, you will have some success in the future. The quality of what you offer and deliver is less important than the value and the effort that you're putting in to deliver it. So you must continue to do that, and you must adopt this principle on a daily basis. But just doing your best and knowing you need to do something is not good enough. And that brings us on to principle number 2. So I'm going to ask you a question. Have you got yourself a calendar that is truly, truly detailed? And when I say truly detailed, I'm talking about every single hour of every single day of your week, or even your whole year, that is outlined in full, explains exactly what you're doing at each of those times during the day, how long those time blocks are, and what you're actually doing. Because if you haven't, you are missing a massive trick, and you're going to find it really hard to operate with this mindset and these principles, because we need to find time to make change, however small. And that is super important, that last part, however small, because we have to recognize that we may be in situations where we have a full-time job, we have family, children, we have lives and other commitments to attend to, people we need to care for. Other influencers would tell you to just drop all of that baggage and just quit it all so that their process is much easier for you to follow. But the reality is we don't want to do that, because we will lose all of our security, all of our integrity as a human being. Remember, we don't want to be that digital nomad going off to Dubai, alienating all of our friends and losing our families. So we need to find a way to work it into our schedule. And the however small part is really going to play a powerful, useful tool, because wherever you have gaps in your diary when you draw it out, those are the points and times that you are going to use to actually do small actions to grow your business further. And trust me, small actions make a massive difference. As soon as you've done one or two, you'll want to do more and more, and you'll realize that you actually have more time available to you than you originally thought. Once you start to see success, it kind of snowballs. And when you have even success at doing basic tasks like completing something you've never done before, it can be a bit of a boost for you and will help you to want to do more of that and spend more of those unused hours that you have in your calendar. Now, if you say you don't have any time at all, I'd find that really hard to believe. Everybody has a few hours spare, and you can normally pinch hours and make hours in certain areas. And it's important that you do that, because without finding time to make small changes or big changes to your business and to anything that you want to offer, you're going to struggle to grow business. Now, it's time for us to move on to principle 3, and this is a super important one, and it's one that catches a lot of people out. So imagine this. You're in a restaurant with bunch of your friends and family, and you're looking at a restaurant menu and you're trying to decide what it is that you want to eat. And you've probably been in this situation yourself, where you either don't know what you want, or there's so many good choices you can't make your mind up, and it causes you to get stuck under pressure in deciding what you want. And you often don't decide on something that you really want. You end up picking something that you didn't want, which almost defeats the point of why you went out for a meal in the first place. You've probably also seen this, where perhaps you've ordered already and someone else on the table is being really difficult and can't decide what they want, and is holding you up from enjoying your dinner because you're waiting for them to decide what they want for theirs. Now, the principle here is really simple. It's to make quick decisions and fail fast and continuously improve. Now, that sounds really simple, but in business, often a lot of the time, you have to try things out using a method called trial and error. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. For example, you might create some content to try and get new viewers to your business, and it doesn't work. In which case, you have to just accept that it didn't work. You try again, work out what didn't work, and you continuously improve and deliver better next time out. It could be absolutely any aspect of your business that this applies to. You need to be continuously improving and just making quick decisions. If you make quick decisions, you'll get things done, you'll be able to move on to the next thing, and you'll stop procrastinating on the current thing and trying to be a perfectionist about it. Trust me, no one is a perfectionist when they first start out, so don't try to be one right now. As per our first principle, we should always do our best anyway. So as long as you are doing your best, it's okay to make mistakes, to fail fast, and continuously learn from them, so you don't do the same thing again and you do things better next time out. So now it's time for us to move on to principle number 4. So ask yourself a question. Do you watch YouTube videos about how to make $20,000 a month, or how to make $100,000 a month, or how to grow a business in 2 weeks, or how to make $10,000 in 7 days by opening an Etsy shop, or by creating an AI bot automation business, or by being a graphic designer, or something like that? Now, these things are all dressed up on YouTube to be really, really simple. It's the way that people market themselves. The reality is, growing any business is not quick. and nothing operates quickly. And that is exactly this principle, and it's something I don't want you to fall foul of. What you don't want to do is get stuck in the get rich quick scheme mindset. If all you're thinking about is making money from it and not enjoying the process of creating a business, first of all, it might not last. Anything that's a side hustle that makes a little bit of money or is a get rich quick scheme, often it will phase out because it's just a way of circumventing a system to make some extra money on the side. Some people swear by side hustles and they love them, and they're absolutely fine. But what we're talking about here is growing a business that is sustainable. We're not talking about creating something that just occasionally works and might make you a few $100s. We're talking about something that will foundationally change your life, earn you a set revenue and a target that you want per month, and is something that you actually love and enjoy to do. And that might not be the case with a side hustle, unless you really love side hustles. So when you're watching influencers online and you're seeing what they're offering, you should make sure that you're not bought too hard into their idea and their ideology straight away. Sure, they will offer probably some good value and some good tips, and you should take those and apply them to your business if they make sense, but don't get caught up trying to be exactly like them and do exactly what they say. The reality is you actually need to think about how much you want to earn yourself, and there are all sorts of steps and exercises you can do for that to work out how much money you really need per month and not just what other people want you to earn per month or say you can earn per month. And that is a nice segue into principle number 5, because it is in a similar vein, but it's also super important. So have you ever asked yourself the question, how much money do you need to earn per month or per year to enjoy the life that you want to live? Most people don't actually know that number. They know how much they spend per month and how much they need as a bare minimum to survive, but they often don't know how much they want in order to have a life that they want to live and a lifestyle that they can enjoy. This could include things like expenses for families, being able to look after their retired parents who don't earn as much anymore, moving house to something bigger, maybe even redoing that back garden that you've wanted to do for a long time. There's a lot of things that could go into how much money you might need to do stuff. But the reality is a lot of people don't know how much they actually need to survive or to make their lifestyle a reality. They often just look and say, how much could I earn? And that's the wrong approach. That is looking at a number, not a goal that makes sense. So the key principle here is to focus on your own circumstances and your own situation and not try to focus on the circumstances of what other people say you can do. Because the reality is, if I tell you today that you can earn $100,000 a month, you might not believe it. And actually, how do I know you can earn $100,000 a month? Your lifestyle and your diary and your schedule might not allow you to earn that much money. So how can I possibly know that? A lot of content that's online by influencers is generalized. So you have to be very careful what you read into it. Make sure that you take value from these videos where there's good lessons to be learned. Do not try and copy what someone else is doing perfectly. It will never work. Copying often leads to failure. If somebody who you are copying is doing it wrong, you are doing it wrong as well. And equally, if that person stops doing anything, your entire model doesn't work anymore. Now, these 5 principles are super, super important and are great to combine together under the one mindset. They're really easy to follow. Print them off or write them down, pin them up on a wall, and just remind yourself every day that this is how you want to operate when you're growing your own business. These will hopefully keep you in check and will stop you deviating down the secret rabbit holes of how to make $10,000 from Facebook in 1 month, or how to do Amazon drop shipping, or whatever it is, the latest craze for making money and side hustles online. Sure, it's all interesting. It sounds exciting. It sounds like fun, but it's not going to be something that's sustainable, and it likely won't work for you, as most side hustles that are posted online are done by hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people already. The chances of you having success with it are quite minimal. Our goal with this entire thing is to grow a business. And that's why I mentioned earlier in the video, I've got something very exciting to share, because I have launched a new Money Mindset Academy. It's completely free to join right now. You'll be able to come into the academy and chat with me directly, along with peers and other people in your space, about some of the ideas and things that they're thinking about with regards to business, addressing some of the challenges that you might have with growing your business and getting off the ground. Those who contribute to the community and support in its growth and help others will eventually be awarded an ambassador role, which will give you free access to all sorts of things that are coming later on in the year that I will be building out specifically, including business mentorships, training courses on different aspects of growing businesses. So this is your chance to get in early. Link to the Discord is in the below description. If you just click on it and follow the instructions to install Discord, get yourself a user profile set up and get access to the community. It's really simple. as soon as you're in, I'll chat to you over there and you'll have direct access to me to talk about anything related to business. Now, the mindset and principles that are covered in this video are absolutely paramount to growing a business, but actually there are a number of other things that you need to consider when it comes to growing your business and knowing whether you're even ready to start growing one. And that's why I would recommend that you watch the video that's on screen next as I break down the different things that you need to consider when it comes to being ready to grow your own business, and you can assess whether you're ready. So click on that video next and I'll chat to you over there.